Today, I'm going to be talking about functional communication training. Specifically, I'm going to talk about what it is, why we need it, some steps on how to implement it, and then also I'm going to demonstrate it. So, functional communication training is an evidence based intervention in which you teach a learner to use functionally equivalent communicative expression rather than the target behavior. So, in a more simpler term, that all you're doing is teaching a child to communicate their needs appropriately. And so you're going to do this by replacing the challenging behavior that they're showing with a more appropriate response and then providing them reinforcement for doing that. So some examples um, that you might use to teach a student to communicate appropriately would be maybe if a child is throwing a tantrum when they need help, and you would teach them instead of throwing a tantrum, that if they're nonverbal, then they could hold up a card that had the symbol for help on it. Or if they are verbal but only speak in a few words, then you could teach them to say help please. Or if they can speak in full sentences, teaching them to say I need help. um, and then also, if a student has a communication device, teaching them how to ask for what they want or need with that device. So, why do we use functional communication training? Um, First off, we use this because communication is a necessity. This is something that everybody does. Communication might look different for everybody, like verbally, like I'm talking right now. I'm verbally communicating. Some people use sign, and some people also have those communication devices. So it might look differently for everybody, but that's when we want to focus on the student's strengths. So communication should be taught in meaningful context using multiple people, situations, and environments. You really want to make sure that this is going to work in different places with different people. So before training begins, you want to make sure that the system that you chose or that you choose is based on student strengths, that is accessible, and that it's going to allow that student to get what they're wanting or needing. Um, so now I'm going to go through the steps of functional communication training. The first thing you're going to want to do is determine that target behavior. Um, what negative behavior are they showing to try to get what they want? That's what you want to try to figure out first. The next thing that you want to do is come up with or decide what they're trying to get. Like, are they trying to get a tangible? Um, are they wanting attention? Are they trying to escape what they're doing? And then after that, you need to come up with what you think they need. So, what you're going to teach them instead. And so, the next step would be choosing an alternative, functionally equivalent communicative. It could be a phrase or a sign or something like that. Um, the next thing that you're going to do is practice this and then reinforce the child. So, for example, if you have taught the child to say, I don't want to, instead of throwing a tantrum, if they tell you, I don't want to, then you would reinforce that child each time that they did that. Then the next step would be to thin out the schedule of reinforcement. And so you would do this, and it takes different steps to do this. So, um, of course, you will want to start out by delaying reinforcement and then also delaying or decreasing the magnitude of the reinforcement. And so, what that looks like is um, maybe waiting a little bit longer to respond to the child. And then also, when they get the reinforcer, so if they asked for a break, you could take the minutes of the break down, decreasing the magnitude of that reinforcement. Also, increasing response requirements. And then what you would want to do during this time is monitor their progress and then adjust this intervention if it's needed. So, now what I'm going to do is demonstrate what this looks like. Um, so, I will be acting as the teacher, and Sawyer will be acting as my student. So, During baseline, I took baseline data and observed, and I've seen that she gets frustrated when she is doing math problems and when she needs a break. She will engage in inappropriate vocal expressions. This could be things like, ugh, or very loudly, or grunting. And so, step two, I have decided that she needs to learn how to appropriately ask for a break. Um, and that's what I'm going to teach her. Okay, so I see that you get frustrated when you're doing these types of math problems. And so, and I've seen that you like vocalize that out loud, and it's pretty loud, like grunting and stuff like that. So I want to teach you a way to ask for a break in a better way. Okay, so when you get frustrated, you feel yourself start to get frustrated with these math problems. I just want you to say, "I need a break, please." Okay. So what sentence do you need to say?
I need a break, please.
Yes. So you'll say, "I need a break, please," when you get frustrated, and then you will get a 3-minute break. Okay. And so you'll get a 3-minute break where you go and you can sit on the beanbag. But then after that 3 minutes is up, you'll have to come back and finish your problems. Okay. All right. So now I want you to start on your problems. Okay.
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 Can I have a break, please?
Yes. Good job. Good job using your words. So I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes, and you're going to go take a break. Okay. Okay. So after that 3-minute timer would be up, then she would come back and do the problems again. This is where we get to step 4, where you practice and reinforce. So I'm reinforcing her by giving her a break. I can't demonstrate how to thin out the schedule, but what that would look like is instead of the break being 3 minutes, then you could bring it down to 2 minutes and then 1 minute.